everybody, Josh the RV Nerd down here at Advantage One RV today with a beautiful 36REQS quad slide Jayco Pinnacle generator paint. Basically, for the age at which this RV was built, it has pretty much everything that you could have ever hoped for on it. Folks used it for a while, they're basically just done RVing, and that's the only reason she seems to be here. Overall, I've got a very positive impression of this one. Now we're actually going to start from the back of the RV. I'm going to kind of give you a little 360-ish, lay of the land, and we'll kind of go from there. Now, originally there would have been, like you see the entry door right there to get your bearings. There would have been a table and chairs right here with that big atrium window setup. Well, it looks like somebody just preferred the nice wide open look and nature of this. They pulled the original table out of there and just put a little kind of, I don't know, shoe bench or something in. Maybe they just enjoyed sitting here and sipping their coffee and looking outside at Mr. Stu down here at Advantage One RV, who has no idea he's on candid camera, had to duck in out of the wind today to maybe speak to a client. But you get the idea. You've got some full-on viewing windows over here, and they really maximized it by getting that furniture out of the way. But the good news, you still have plenty of seating in this thing. You're not going to be hurting whatsoever. With this one being a little bit bigger, too, one of the nice things here, this is a quad slide, 4 slides. It gives you a little bit more definition of a clear living room versus like a kitchen living kind of combo. Now, that does have an airbed style hide-a-bed in the right double section. The left hand closest to us kind of lounge area right there has storage below it, which is kind of nice. Now, I want to give you a quick note. I don't ever try to smoke screen people on anything. If I see something, I say something. I will always do my best to shoot you straight. Any of the shades in the up position are working perfectly fine. Any of the shades left in the down position for one reason or another need a little love, a little attention. Typically, it looks like they just need restrung. The folks actually use this RV quite a bit, so they did tend to put those shades up and down, and sometimes those strings can wear just a little bit on you. Now, all the windows open for airflow. This thing can get some awesome light, awesome visibility. You notice how the TV's on a power up-down lift over here, and you might notice how it has a little built-in desk section over here. But one of the other cool things, and they don't do this anymore. I actually always really liked it. That chair over there is also a ladder. And I think that's actually a really handy feature. I was really sad to see when that was phased out. That was one of those classy little touches, of which you see a lot of classy little touches in Pinnacles. It just always really spoke to me because some of the storage up here, it's pretty darn tall, so it is nice for people to be able to, have a built-in 2 or 3 stepper like that. Now, the chairs can pivot, being free-floating recliners, and notice how they built that slide extra wide to leave some pivot space in there. Again, we have giant windows here. The rear window, probably just from the chairs turning and bumping into it, the strings got a little stressed. Again, if I'm getting right down to the nitty-gritty, if I get this chair out of the way, you can see where that chair probably rubbed on that shade. It's right in the position of that chair's pivot radius like you see right there. But again, even if it's a small cosmetic item, I will do what I can to make you folks aware of those things so that you do truly get a good, fair understanding of exactly what it is this RV offers you and or doesn't offer you. But I will tell you, one of the things it does offer us is a bang-up kitchen. Now, over here, you could use that for like a nice little breakfast bar area. But, man, where do I even start? Because there's actually a ton of kitchen all packed into a fairly small space in here. Let's start up top, work our way down that pillar right there. Down below, you see, too, like a pull-out pantry in the bottom space, as well as a wastebasket kind of holder. Now, that is a 13 cubic foot gas electric fridge freezer next to that convection microwave oven. This was made before a ton of residential refrigerators were commonly found in the RV industry, and those 18 cubic foot gas electric fridges just hadn't quite been created yet. All solid surface countertops here through the kitchen area, by the way. I love that little kind of barrel style hidden mini pantry down below. But you see how even under that big stone cast sink, there's full storage down there. By the way, if you're not familiar with Stonecast, this sink is rated for like 500 degrees. I mean, you can't screw it up by putting hot boiling water in there. All the original owner's manuals, you see the remote control that would actually kind of most often be found over here in the little holder. The remote control lets you do some slides and some lights and things like that. It's kind of a precursor to a lot of today's more modernized systems. Down below is our central vacuum hookup right there, by the way. Also, it is nice to note your command center, which you haven't really seen yet. It's over here, kind of privatized out of the way, so that if we do have like some grandkids over or something like that, they don't, you know, beep, beep, boop, beep, boop, mess with your stuff. Now, you might have noticed the light switches weren't right there. The light switches are by the door, so if you just want to pop inside and be able to flick a switch on and off, you can. And of course, you'll see another one of these in the bathroom, but up top here in the kitchen where you're cooking up a storm, you can make sure you get some fresh airflow and get that heat out of here. Now, something I normally try to do for you is show things closed up, slides closed in what I call road mode. This is very much a destination trailer, and that's reflected in road mode. And I apologize, I'm on very limited battery power today. I spent a couple days out of the office with my family, taking a very uncharacteristic of me mini vacation, and I had a bunch of RVs all come in while I was out, and my battery reserves just simply aren't up to snuff right now. But basically, when these slides closed, one slide's going to come right up here to the kitchen counter, and you can probably pretty easily discern when that kitchen slide closes, you're not able to get to anything in the kitchen. This is a model made for getting there, spending a lot of time, potentially doing some full-time RVing. It's not one that's really made for making like the Cracker Barrel travel stops, so you will want to plan ahead and accordingly. Now, jumping upstairs, I'm actually like sitting on the side of the bed to kind of demonstrate this is a dual entry bed and bath. You see how you have double doors there from the hallway next to that porcelain stool right there. The linen space in here, the toiletry space is very nice. Once again, you see another one of those large vent fans up top. Now, this is a very tall upper deck. Actually, I'm going to flip the camera around on you here real quick. It's going to act like glitchy for just a second. But you can see, like, there's my hand touching the ceiling. I'm not ducking. I'm not ducking. This is just a very tall ceiling space right here. So if you are a bigger person, that is one of the nicer things about a Pinnacle and a North Point, even today. They have a higher upper deck clearance than most brands. It means they do tend to run a bit taller, but there does come a point where they can't make things too darn tall because, you know, you have to be able to get under the road, like highway overpasses, of course. Now, if I pivot on you from there, one of the first things I want to mention is that this does have dual factory air conditioner installed. So they're both centralized, they're both ducted, they're both pushing air all the way around, keep you comfortable. And man, I couldn't have segued that any better. Speaking of comfort, you folks want to sleep well at night? Well, that king bed that you're looking at right there, that is not the original factory mattress. Rather, that is a sleep number. So you've got your little handheld remote over here. You can control that thing, get it to the right firmness for you. And that is yet another very nice. Those things are expensive. I have a sleep number bed at my house. I like it a lot. Don't get me wrong. But it was one of the very few times in my life I said, okay, let's really spend some serious money on something good, because you spend a third of your life sleeping. If you're not sleeping well, if you're not rested, you're not functioning well. So, you know, we did bite the bullet and make that happen. Over here, I like that. Just little touches again. That little lamp right there, that's actually like installed onto the dresser. Again, just those nice little touches here. And speaking of dresser, why don't we go ahead and pop that open? And I figure while we're doing that, we can also take a peek over here at the washer dryer prep area. Now, this is prepped and ready for either stackable or combo washer dryers. You notice that open cavity in the upper corner right there, though. That normally from the factory would have had a door on it. I see where it was carefully just unscrewed and removed. I have not yet located the original factory door that went on there. I got a feeling they just used it for some kind of open decoration or storage space, but it wouldn't be real hard to close that off. Or some people just like to leave it open like these folks did to make everything look and feel nice and large. Now, you might have noticed too, just like we have TV in the living room, factory installed TV here in the bedroom. And once again, yet another really good example of how a paint package like this, because that is not the standard exterior, just raw fiberglass you'd find on a Pinnacle, really helps kind of mask the age of the RV and kind of hide its age. Up front here, you've got yourself a good-sized patio awning you could use with that remote control, lighting below that, of course. There is a programmable deadbolt as well on that entry door. It has a little keypad. You'll see the slide awnings have been installed on this one. The Pinbox is one of those handy Ryde rubber shock dampening models. There's a FedEx truck rolling through the driveway. I don't feel like getting run over by any stretch of the imagination or anything like that. But this, along with the shock dampening kind of suspension system, you know, I mentioned that this is a good RV for getting there, but or for being there rather, but you do still got to get it there. Thankfully, they have the things to make that pretty decent. Onan 5500 gas generator. You see the actual gas fuel cell to the right over there. I can't say enough about how good this looks on the outside, and a big reason for that is if you peek down in the passenger compartment, you'll see why. Not only was this very reasonably well maintained, but they also had a full RV cover with this guy, and since they're not using the RV anymore, they probably didn't have any more use for the RV cover, and they said we should, you know, let that go along with the RV itself. Privatized docking station there. That is a larger water heater on these. I can't eyeball it to tell you if that's a 10 or a 12 gallon vessel. What I can tell you is that it's going to get a little over 20 gallons of hot water per hour on gas electric fast recharge mode. Notice too how it is fully skirted. That skirting right there angles down all the way to the I-beams. This is enclosed, heated, insulated, what people would like to refer to as 4 seasons rated. Jumping back a little bit, the tires look like maybe they had a little exposure, but I don't see anything concerning here. Goodyear Marathons, by the way. And once again, this does have a suspension treatment. You see that that shock dampening kind of rubber job right there. Takes a lot of that herky-jerkiness out of the RV when you are on your way to a destination. And I could be mistaken. This might have been way ahead of its time. I don't ever recall this from my Jayco training, but that right there looks like a mount where you could get like a an extra shock suspension system or like assist added to this thing. I never remember them talking about that when I went through years and years of Jayco training, but that's certainly what it looks like. Am I wrong on that, guys? Now this big long rig is putting me a little too close to the property line here with all these pine trees stabbing me in the face as I try to walk around the RV. So I can't get you like a nice rear corner shot, but I do want you to get to see the rear corners. Looks like maybe just a tiny rub right there. Again, if I see something, I say something. Electrical hookup, that is the control box right there for the power rear stabilizer jacks. This was made before automatic leveling had become quite as common. But the good news, everything on this is still push button easy. If the rear bumper looks a little funny, it's because it's actually a slide out cargo tray. And you see there's some posts that can flip up on there, handy little bike rack space. Now that is one of the things Mr. Haylett, well what's interesting is my father, Mr. Haylett down at Haylett RV, had a 36REQS Pinnacle for a while at a seasonal site in mid-Michigan. And one of the things he told me is he always wants to have a bike rack on the back of his fifth wheel. And I was like, why? You have it there seasonally, you don't tow the thing. He says, yeah, but if I just leave my nice bike laying around my campsite, it's always there when I come back, but never where I left it. But if I actually take the time to hook it up here to something like this, like a bike rack, it's too much trouble for a casual passerby to just hop onto it and take it for a joyride. Now overall, the membrane here looks pretty healthy. The slide awnings, everything looks good. I think these are all the original factory seals, which normally at this age would really concern me, but considering the fact the RV had a cover isn't the most concerning. That being said, again, no joking, no token here. They're at least at the stage where I think they need some touch-up beads, and, well, they're actually still pretty pliable. I'm fairly impressed. Like right there, it could use a little dot, but you'll want to clean those and eyeball them after you take possession of the RV just to see, like, all right, does it need a touch-up bead, or do I need to do a couple spot peel and seals? Like the front termination strip here, it's cracked pretty significantly. Anything that looks kind of like that, you'll probably want to fully peel and reseal just in case, basically. It's not going to hurt you to do it. You might not need to, but it's kind of one of those cases where if you do it and you didn't need to, you won't regret having it done. But if you needed to do it and you didn't, well, then you might regret that. I think that made sense. Anyway, also you can see where they put a satellite dome system up top here. I don't know which, like DirecTV or Dish that belongs to. Some of the decals have kind of worn off there, but it does look like it's satellite capable. If that's something you're interested in, well, give us a call and we can look into that for you. So give us a call. Let us know what you think here. Again, did I get it right? Did I get it wrong? Leave me some comments. Is there something I missed or a question you have, or just something you like? Join a little discussion here. I always like a little, I like to know, what am I hitting on? What am I missing for my viewers? If there's something I can do better for you, please let me know. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance. We can do just about anything you need. You give us a call and we'll get you camping. Well, glamping, to be fair. So take care, stay safe, have fun. Make sure to subscribe, everyone.